So I'm a little bit late to the party, but I've been using the Quad Cortex update and specifically the Dumble model, and it's awesome. I'm sure you've seen some videos already that dive deep into it, but I thought it'd be a good idea to do a video where I can drop my cloud neural DSP link in the description. You can download it yourself, but I'm actually going to show you exactly how I've put this patch together. Now, it's pretty basic, it's out of the box, just sounds good, but I am using a IR. I'm using the York Audio Matchless pack. I'll show you specifically which one I'm using, but it's pretty cheap and it's really good. I think the stock one that I was using before was the vintage 2-Rock, the new cab that's in the Quad Cortex, and this just sounds a bit better. I don't know if it's a specific cab that works really well with a Dumble. I've never played a Dumble before, obviously. But yeah, it works really, really well. So I'm going to show you exactly how I've set it up, and then I'll have a play. I'm going to use my Strat today. It does work really, really well with my PRS as well with humbuckers. And that's one thing I found with the QC. If I'm changing between my Strat and my PRS, which are my main two guitars, I do have to do a fair bit of tweaking depending on what model I'm on, but this Dumble model just sounds great out of the box. One thing to mention is I am using the model. I'm not using any of the captures. I have tried some of the captures and they're great, but obviously this model gives you a lot more control of how you can adjust the settings and things like that. So yeah, before we dive into it, it'd be great if you could subscribe and hit the notification bell. Because I'm going to be doing a lot more videos from now on. I've actually got a single coming out next week. It's my debut single, completely instrumental guitar music. So if you're watching this channel, I'm sure you're into guitars. And there's going to be a playthrough that's coming up on this channel as well. So that'll be shortly after the song's released. So yeah, it'd be great if you're subscribed and you can see that pop up and then have a watch. So first things first, I'm in the Cortex Control app. So I use this all the time. My Quad Cortex sits on the floor in the studio, unless I'm taking it out for any gigs, of which I've done one so far with it. And yeah, I just find the workflow when I'm in Ableton, which is what I produce in, is really, really easy. Just using it almost like a plugin with lots of control. So yeah, it's really easy for me to show you kind of how I'm dragging all of the blocks in and what I'm doing with it. Now, the first thing I do is set up my input gain. So this changes quite drastically between my Strat and my PRS. Now, if there is a way of setting that to a scene, I would really, really appreciate in the comments if there's any way of doing this. Say you're at a gig and you swap guitars out. Is there a way I can just switch it so that the input gain changes for each guitar? I don't think there is, but yeah, that would be awesome because I am changing it constantly. So I'm at, as you can see, +6 for my Strat. So yeah, that's my Strat with the single coils. And usually I'm at -2 on my PRS with humbuckers. So yeah, the first thing we'll grab in is the Dumble. So as you can see, I've pretty much got the block how it is when you drag it in, except the volume is, or the main volume, not the master volume, is up by 1, so it starts on 4. And yeah, I just liked that extra bit of breakup that was happening when I took it to 5. And my master volume's on 3, which I think is the default. So master volume actually does quite a lot with this amp, and introduces quite a bit more breakup and a bit more gain. And the only thing I've pulled back is the mids. I've just pulled that back by 1, so it's on 4. And the presence, so my presence, I've pulled that back quite a bit, but that is just to compensate for the IR really. So I did a bit of ChatGPT, and apparently pulling back the presence with this cab can really react well with a Dumble style amp, and it did. As soon as I changed that setting, it made it sound great. So other than that, that's pretty much the same. Now when we go over to the IR over here, you can see that I'm using the blend. So this will be a blend between the two microphones. I'm just using a mono cab. It's all going out to stereo at the end, but yeah, I'm using a mono cab and, or sorry, mono IR loader. And yeah, the blend, I can't remember exactly what the mics are, but I'm using Mix 6 for this. So next up in front of that, I've got a dual compressor. Now this is just stock in the QC. I have done a capture of my dark glass. I've got a hyperluminal. I know it's marketed towards bass, but it's a great guitar compressor as well. I think Rabia did a good video on how he uses that compressor for guitar. I don't know if he uses it anymore, but when he was trying it out. And yeah, I've been using that on my pedal board with my Victory V40. So I've got a capture of that. I've done the new V2 capture. And that's another point, actually. I'll digress. But I do have those new captures on the cloud. So if you want to download any of those and try them out, I think there's a capture of when I did it before. So a V1 and a V2 if you want to compare. I just feel like it's more dynamic, really responsive. So it's definitely an upgrade, this V2 capturing. But yeah, I'm not using that specifically. I'm just using the dual compressor, and you can see the settings all here. And then I've got a Klon Centaur Overdrive in front of the amp. That's a capture that I downloaded from the cloud, and yeah, really liked it. So I just put that there if I want to use it. But to be honest, I just use the Overdrive channel on the amp, which is working really well for me. It's so versatile. You know, you can play full-on metal stuff on it, or you can bring it back so it's like edge of breakup. Yeah, it's awesome. Really, really good lead. Everything on here is really crystal clear, and you'll hear this when I do the demos of me playing the different channels. So usually what I do is I have my stomps and compressor before the amp and the IR all on one lane, and then I'll send that to row 3 where I will have my ambient effects and my modulation, and then that goes out to output. On here it's 3 and 4. But I actually, when I'm recording, this is a good tip for anyone that's recording a lot. I'm coming out both output 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Because then it gives me flexibility. If I want to use another lane just for DI, I'll just go input 1 to output 1, and then I can record at the same time and have a DI if I want to reamp later. Also, I could just take and I do this a lot, I could take a splitter and put it after the amp, or sorry, after the IR, and then route that to a separate channel, because then I can take a recording at the same time without the effects on it. So if I want to add the effects later, or say when I'm in a mix I want more reverb or less reverb, it's not printed on then. So I can use the affected signal first, and then when it comes to mixing, if I want more control, I can swap it out for that channel. So on the effects lane, I've got the new microprocessor, which is a new effect. I think it's based on the Eventide. I don't know what the model is, but it's awesome. It's so good. It just adds so much depth because it's got a chorus effect as well as the delay. I think it's like a chorus delay. I don't know, but it's awesome. So yeah, I'll do a quick playthrough of that so you can hear that when I click that on as well. And then I've just got a Plate Lush reverb. This has been one of my favorite reverbs out of the stock reverbs in the QC. And these are all the settings here. And yeah, I've pretty much always got that on. So that's everything for the clean. And then if we click over to Overdrive, these are the settings here. And I'm basically just using the OD content and the OD volume. And yeah, I'm just pulling it back. So I'm on 1.6 here. So this is pretty light, but I'll show you how it sounds when you boost it as well. So obviously when I'm boosting the gain on that, then I'm pulling the volume back slightly. I'm just trying to match it so that when I switch it from clean to overdrive, it's all nice and neat. And then that moves me on to the final point, which is how I'm setting it up in the pedal mode. So I basically use a hybrid mode. So I've got all of my stomps on the top 4 buttons. So I can turn on my overdrive if I want to, the clon, and I can turn on my effects, the reverb, and the compressor as well. So yeah, it's basically compressor, overdrive, the microprocessor, and then the reverb. Then on the bottom lane, I've got 2 scenes. and that is literally just to change the clean channel to the overdrive channel on the amp. So essentially, yeah, I've just put scene on there, and then yeah, we just click between A and B. Oh no, it's not A and B if it's on the bottom lanes. It's E and F. So yeah, I can just turn the overdrive channel on there, and then I can still use my stomps above to affect each of those channels. So yeah, sorry, I know I've been waffling on, and you can just download these from my cloud link if you want. But the fun of it is mucking around with it yourself, or you could download them and tweak. But yeah, at the moment, I've just set up my new studio and got all my lighting set up and new camera and everything, mainly to do content for my original music that's coming out. But yeah, I thought I'd start doing some more YouTube videos. And the problem is, at the moment, the way I've got it set up, I can't play while I'm talking to you about it. So I thought, let me get all the settings down first, and then I'll do some playing now. So yeah, this is just a playthrough of a few of those settings that I mentioned, and hope you enjoy it. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Please remember to subscribe, hit the notification bell, and like the video. And yeah, if you have any comments about how you prefer to set up the amp, please leave it in the comments. Or if you've got any cool tones that you've uploaded to the cloud and you'd like me to try out, maybe I could do a little review of some of those. That'd be great. So yeah, one other video I'm going to be doing soon is how I captured my rig. So I'm using the Universal Aux box, and I've got my Victory Duchess head, and then I can show you how I've done that in the new V2 capture. Also the pedals, how I captured all of my pedals. So yeah, if you don't see me before, have a good Christmas, and I'll be back with more videos soon.